Welcome to another SITH List Breakdown episode. I'm Iraj and my co-host Les Gonzalez and King Tom Chansky. How you doing, buddies?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. Les, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Bright and early. Another exciting episode last night. Yeah.
We are about to break down Falcon, Winter Soldier, episode 4. Man, oh man, was it... I was going to say it's jam-packed, but the beginning of it wasn't so jam-packed, but it got crazy at the end, guys. King Tom, I'm going to go with you first. What did you think about the episode?
Like you said, it was jam-packed. There were a lot of fight scenes in this episode, and the way they were done was very well. But this show is just going very deep philosophically into the notion of power. And they're trying to put the world back together. And I think that's something that I didn't really expect them to be getting into post Snap and everyone coming back, because that's what this show is about. And we see the power that countries have to shape lives. We see the powers that individuals have, not just, financial power, but also physical power. What some people would do to get it, what those who don't have it are doing for it, and what those who want to have it for others are doing to get it for others. So it's just a very fascinating dive into the many aspects of the subject. And it's one of those things where I really don't know who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about this thing. And not only that, it's what happens to people when they get the absolute power.
Yeah.
On both ends. I was telling Les last time when we were doing a reaction video, that's a nice little plug for everybody. Check out a reaction video that's up. But I was telling him that it's tough for me, because if it wasn't for the killing and the brutality that they've recently displayed, talking about the Flag Smashers, I get their cause. Like, we're down for it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You'd be totally down for the cause, because
right.
I understand that. What we'll see, and then again, what this show has been doing is it is mirroring a lot of what society's questions are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's so many displaced people that are not being taken care of, or they're being turned away at borders, or they're just being told, live in your tent community, and that's that. We don't really care about you. Right. There's like you said, there's the people that have the power, and they want to make sure everybody else gets the power. So they want to make sure everybody has the equity and equality. Then there's people that are like, no, this is just for us. You don't deserve it because you don't look like us. They made these different things they were saying throughout this episode, and you're just like, you know what? That's real. It's real, and it's scary.
Wait a
minute,
are you saying that Marvel is telling a story about social injustice?
Of course they are, because that's what they do, and that's what everybody does. Hell, Marvel even has that. Even has the hipster, like, I totally understand black pain guy, and it's Baron Zemo, dude.
Of all people.
Of all people. It's Baron Zemo. It's crazy. Go ahead.
I hate saying he was right, but when he was talking about how the super soldier serum has corrupted people, with the exception of Steve Rogers so far, he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned that. In one of our other breakdowns, just loosely. I said there's only been one real, like, throughout all, from Weapon Alpha to Weapon 10 and everything in between and all the offshoots, there's really only been one, and that's Steve Rogers. And that's because his moral center, which they very much established in the first Avenger, that he was willing to take on anybody to protect what was right. If you were, you saw him scrawny and he grabbed the trash can shield. It's amazing now to to just reflect on things, and you see he was standing hard with the trash can top. And then the final scene of this one, where you see what the shield looks like now. And it's like,
it's interesting between the two, right? The gods made Mjolnir, right? And that has to be, you have to be worthy of it. This is made by man, and anybody can pick it up and wield it.
Well, and now, this episode, anyone can take if there are vials laying around, anyone can take a vial, inject it, and
there you go.
Get the power.
Right.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. What a great
Oh,
episode. What'd you guys think of when you saw this in the beginning and we were back in Wakanda? Just to see Wakanda be in Wakanda was such a cool thing, man. And this scene with Bucky, thought it was phenomenal.
well, I really like that we get a little bit of the detail, and look at how much he had to be. You could see the misery on him. You could see that. Listen, this is a person who's been controlled, because I think I said it before. At the beginning of the first Avenger, Bucky was what the guy that Steve Rogers looked up to.
Yeah.
He wanted to be just as tough as Bucky, and if he wished he could be just as big and strong as his buddy Bucky. And now you see Bucky has been just dragged through everything. He's been put through so much. And now he's there at Wakanda, and of course, the community as far as the social aspect, the community that will embrace you and help stand for your cause, even if there's differences and other things, is the Black community. Let's be honest. There's people, we stand hand in hand whenever there's time to protest things. We stand at the front of the line and then go, come on, get up here with us. We will walk with you. We will go with you. And to see that they did that, and then to see, for me, especially for anybody going through anything personally where you have to feel the chance to redeem yourself, to see the freedom in his eyes and the emotion when he was fine, when she said you're free, and he was just crying and just tears and tears of just, okay, now I can begin to become myself again.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you can see that. And what a performance by Sebastian Stan, not just in that scene, but throughout this whole thing so far. Actually, a performance from everybody. Everybody's been great. I mean, Baron Zemo has completely flipped his script on what we think about him. Even though he's a murderous piece of filth, he's endearing to me. Like every episode, he becomes funnier and he does the right thing. What the heck is going on? And I don't want him to die. And he's a piece of filth. Well done, Marvel. Well done. The Dora's coming in. And
the Dora Milaje, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it, please. Go ahead. What'd you think when that happened?
Go ahead, King Tom. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, it was a great scene, and of course they were going to win that fight. Because I think it was the numbers were even, but they are trained to operate together, and everyone else, they were fighting individually and didn't even realize that Zemo is getting away. So the doors kind of lost out in that standpoint, but they showed Walker, who's been, he walks in a room like he owns the place, even though he doesn't. He said at the end they weren't even super soldiers, and because they know how to fight. That's what they do.
And go ahead, King. Go ahead, Iraj. I'm sorry.
No. I would say that was the beginning of his demise, really.
Yeah.
He knew that he couldn't, he wasn't worthy of being Captain America. He couldn't even beat anybody that didn't have the serum.
Right. And the other thing too, remember the scene taking place right before that was when him and, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe wrong, but when him and Bucky stood face to face, and he just says, it must make you feel good having all that power, that serum running through your body. And you could tell he was just starting to like go.
Yep.
And then but then again, that should also show the shelter. The allegories are crazy. It's the shelter. Like, look, here's this guy with the American look, and I'm Captain America, and here I am stepping in front of another fighting force, and I should be able to beat them because I'm American, or I'm the man. And then they just kick the crap out of you, and they're just like, no.
Right.
You're not the only one. There's a lot more. There's someone always bigger and badder than you. And the Dora Milaje in the MCU are as big and badass as it gets.
And you could tell by Bucky, and also Bucky and Sam saying, "Are you sure you want to do this?" They
told him
Sam
flat
said,
out, like,
you haven't even fought Bucky yet. Are you gonna fight these girls?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you guys think about Baron Zemo's new look? I thought they nailed it. I thought they
They
nailed
did.
it.
I was
They did.
surprised they mentioned that reference.
Even though I want to keep it in the back of my mind that, you know what, this is still Baron Zemo, and he is, put the mask on and the fur going on. That's him,
Yeah.
but his methods are effective. He's at least in the right intention right now, which is no super soldiers, because it corrupts people.
Yeah.
And there's only one guy and nobody else is ever going to be that person. There's a difference between a good soldier and a good man. And Steve Rogers was a good man.
Yeah.
On top of learning how to be a good soldier or just being a good soldier. Everybody else, John Walker's a great soldier. 3 medals of honor. When you look at all these things, that means he's really good in the heat of battle, but he's not good at the other things that make you Captain America.
And some of our viewers of a reaction video commented that at the end of the day, John Walker was right about the Flag Smashers. They're violent and they killed. I mean, they ended up killing Battlestar, unfortunately. Collateral damage, big time, and it was such a unfortunate scene right here. Oh man, I did not think that was going down like that. I really didn't.
Yeah, that was
But
tough
I think
too.
they needed
because-
something for him to turn, and that did it.
I think that part of it was that, and also I think it was his conscience, because in the the 4 episodes we've gotten, Lamar has kind of been tethering him to what's right. And to say, okay, maybe Bucky and Sam are onto something. They're the experts here in this world of superpowers. Maybe we should listen to them. And he's kind of been the conscience here, and it's just another thing to push Walker over the edge. And I'm kind of sorry the character was sacrificed in that, or used in that way.
Me too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
it led us to this. Oh, and this is the an iconic scene right here. Oh, I never thought at any kind of screen, television, or film to see the shield used as a murder device, and then to have that blood on that shield. Unbelievable. That was really impactful. It was crazy. All right. Well, this is obviously going to lead to him getting stripped from the title. I think he's going to go to the power broker. I think, King Tom, you said that you thought that was going to happen a while back. It's going to lead him to the power broker, and thus we get.
Well, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it anymore.
He doesn't. You're right. And now, U.S. Agent. Question for you guys: U.S. Agent ultimately was a villain, correct? Kind of like a villain, good guy kind of thing. Was he this much of?
He's an anti-hero.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
He had a very short fuse, and in the comic series when he was Captain America, some of his, so he was part of this group of 4 guys. They wanted to take down Steve Rogers and be the new symbols of America. It was drummed up by this PR guy, and so he and Lamar got chosen as the new Cap and Bucky, and then they realized, we shouldn't be calling this guy Bucky, we'll call him Battlestar instead. So the other 2 guys felt like they were left high and dry. So they revealed, I don't know if they revealed his secret identity, but the story worked out so they were involved in his parents' death. And that drove him over the end, and he publicly started, doing things Captain America shouldn't. I don't know if he used the shield in that way, but he I think he paralyzed one of them with people watching. So it is, that part of the story is similar, but that was when he was Captain America, not U.S. Agent.
All right, guys. Wow, what an episode. We only have 2 more left, and it seems like it's definitely ramping up for these last 2 to be really crazy. So cannot wait to dive into those as well. Guys, if you liked what you've seen and you want to check out more, please subscribe and click that little button so it gives you little updates on when we do our breakdowns and our reaction videos. Also, we have a podcast, The Sith List, where we break down things even in more detail. Check that out wherever podcasts are enjoyed. And for Les and King Tom, I'm Iraj, and we'll see you next week for episode number 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier here on The Sith List.